Well, it's very important that Thomas Coleman, Tavares Austin, and Robert Johnson really lead our team. James Porter and Dwayne Joshua are 5 true veterans. We've got a ton of young kids that can really play. We've got some very good freshmen. Nick Simpson's going to get an opportunity to play quite a bit this year. Didn't get to play last year, but he'll be a pleasant surprise for the fans to get a chance to watch. And then we've got all of our freshmen that probably is the best freshman class I've ever brought in, Brian. I'm really high on them. They're going to get a lot of playing time. It may even be the first year where I start a freshman because it makes the team just better. They've got a lot of ability, and there's quite a bit of upside in this locker room. We've got a very tough preseason, like we always do, but I expect this team to do very well like all my other teams. And if we can just get going at the correct time and be the best team in March, not in February, like we have been the last 3 years, we've got a chance to win this thing.
Thomas Coleman, you mentioned him a little bit, and perhaps, I know you always like to call him your best player on the team. Talk about what he brings to your team in terms of defense, all the things that he can do on the basketball field.
Absolutely. A lot of people, there's a misconception that your leading scorer is your best player, and that's not true. Thomas Coleman is my best player. He covers for everyone, 14th in the nation in block shots. He rebounds the ball. He runs the floor. He's an excellent passer. He gets people shots. He's just a tremendous all-around player. And it's just a delight to have him on our team. He's going to get better and better. And I think this year he'll be a little bit more aggressive with his back to the basket and scoring the ball. He's not comfortable with it yet, but we're going to continue working on it until we get him there.
Do you think the fact that he hasn't scored a lot since he's been here is the reason why he hasn't gotten the recognition perhaps that he deserves? When you talk about a kid who was 14th in the nation in blocks, but no all-defensive player of the year with Mia. How much of scoring plays in the fact that he probably hasn't gotten the recognition that he needs?
Well, I just think a lot of people said he's his sophomore year and he will get it, even though he deserved Defensive Player of the Year last year. And that's really the only explanation I have. I really don't get into the awards. I'm more of a team award person. You know, that's voted on amongst the coaches in the conference. So you really have to ask them what they were looking at. But Thomas is a force. You know, he had 8 block shots at DePaul as a freshman. Our team has been very good. With Winston-Salem 2 wins, we were the second best team in the conference. And to get no one on the first or second team, Brian, it's a little disturbing because, you know, winning should mean something, and it really hasn't when it comes to the selection committee of the teams, except for when I had Steve Rush on the team.
Talk a little about your point guard, Tavares Austin. Finally got a chance to get that major playing time and really contributed, won a game for you down in Hampton. What does he mean to your team?
He's lightning quick, and, you know, I really want to release it. I really want him to be aggressive this year. Sometimes he becomes tentative. He won't push the ball. He hesitates. But I really want him to be aggressive to the basket, to penetrate and kick. I've got good perimeter shooters. I want to play an up-tempo game, and he's the key to that because he can really fly with the ball. He's a good defender. He's become a better defender as the years go on. So I expect him to be one of the top steal guys in the conference this year, and I expect him to be one of the leading scorers in the conference.
And then you got his buddy, Robert Johnson, who...
Partners in crime.
Well, I call it quiet assassin. I mean, he's going to get you 10, and he's going to shoot a pretty high percentage. Talk a little bit about him and how he fits into your role.
He's the best mid-range jump shooter that I've ever coached in college, and he's the best mid-range jump shooter in the conference, no question. Coach Price and I, Dudley, said, Coach, we speak about him all the time. There's just not a better young man to have on your team. There's not one issue with Robert Johnson. There's just nothing negative you can say. He will do anything you ask him to do for the team. This year, I'm asking him to score, so I'm sure that he's going to go out there and be a little bit more aggressive, but super person, super kid, great basketball player, just perfect for your team.
9 outstanding freshmen, a great signing class. This year, probably your biggest one since you've been here over the last 7 years. Talk about your young men a little bit.
Okay, well, you know, we've got Austin Witter from Trenton, 6'9" perimeter shooter. People will be very surprised to watch his skills on with the range that he can shoot the ball with. Excellent athlete, needs to improve his lateral quickness, which we're working on, and his flexibility, but he's a very good player. Got Demetrius Upchurch from Durham, best athlete on the team, best jumper on the team. I mean, he's explosive. Got a nice 18-foot jump shot, and he's got a chance to be really special. We've got Adrian Powell, and he's a 6'6", 123. We've been going through preseason in our 4-man drills, and we've been teaching our offense in a 4-man set. And I've played him at the 1, 2, and the 3. I don't know where to play him yet. He's just multi-talented. He's really got an opportunity because he can do so many things well. So that he's a tremendous attribute to this team. Lawrence Smith is the biggest body, 6'5", about 218. I'm gonna need his size, his maturity, the size of his body to be able to block out some of the bigger bodies. He can run the floor. He's an adequate jump shot shooter, but he can put the ball on the floor and he's strong to the basket. So he's gonna really help. He's an excellent defensive player. And then R.J. Buck. Everyone remembers Sean Booker. R.J. Buck is just unbelievable when he attacks the basket, when he starts to dunk the ball with his defensive skills. 6'2" and will guard anyone. We had a scrimmage, I want to say last Friday or Saturday. I think Tavares Alston drove the ball, dropped it off to Thomas. Everyone in the gym knew Thomas was going to dunk it, and Thomas also. Thomas went with 2 hands, cocked it back, went to flush it, and all of a sudden, somebody snatched the ball out of his hands right in front of the rim, and it was R.J. Buck at 6'2". People are just going to love to watch him play. He's going to have people throwing their hats up in the gym because he's just he's a monster when it goes going to the basket. He's going to finish with dunks. He goes strong. And we really need that because sometimes we're tentative to the basket.
Your schedule, usually one of the toughest ones to play in the country. There are games you have to play financial-wise. Talk a little bit about why you like bringing in some of the D2, D3s early in the season to get your team going.
Absolutely. I love playing the Tennessees, the Miamis, all the high-ranked teams that we had played. 2 years ago, we had the second toughest schedule in the country. That's everyone. But at the same time, you have to be fair to young people. You have to give them opportunities to be successful, to buy into your system. So at the same time, I go out and play those guys. And we play them very competitively. You've been there. We were up 16 at St. Louis. And they shot 24 free throws. Second half, they took the game. Those things happen when you're making $65,000, $70,000. Evansville is a 3-point game with 2 minutes to go. It's not that we don't play them well. We play them very well. We beat DePaul SMU. We just haven't been able to claw out enough of the wins, but we've put ourselves in that situation. But here at home, I want the young people to be confident and successful, so we try to give them opportunities. But at the same time that I beat DePaul, Talladega College was the most talented team that walked in this gym last year. People missed a treat with that game. They had the leading shot block man in the nation. They had some very good overseas players. Sometimes people are very surprised what comes in here when you say D2, D3. Southern Virginia hit 22 threes on me, 2 threes 2 years ago. They've got the record in my gym. So you never know what comes in your gym. Just like when we went and beat DePaul, you can get beat. You have to be prepared for everyone you play.
Coach, we appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate you all.
Open the season November 13th against Brevard College. Come out and watch the Aggies play.